Good morning, all. I would like you all to welcome for the fifth edition of Azim Premji University Social Enterprise Cells National Idea Challenge. So, the Social Enterprise Cell at Azim Premji University organizes this idea challenge each and every year with a purpose to provide students of colleges, universities across India to provide an opportunity to explore social entrepreneurship and share their innovative social impact ideas. So the event also act as a networking platform to all the young minds to meet each other, to share their ideas, concepts, and showcase their talents to the larger audience. Also, they meet early stage mentors, funders, and all. So this yearly event provides recognition to the selected student teams, besides an opportunity to win the cash prize. So as we all know, we are in the middle of pandemic. It has exposed the loopholes and the miseries of underprivileged society like migrant workers, healthcare system, and all that. So the competition this year, we specifically tried to focus on the ideas which will help to find a solution to the impact of this COVID-19. So before beginning the event, I would like to welcome our today jury member, Manoj P. Sir and Priyanshu Gupta. So, so Manoj P. has been with the Azim Premji University since its inception. He has led various teams at the university and now he is the registrar of Azim Premji University, Bangalore. Thanks, Manoj sir, for agreeing to be the jury today amidst your the busy schedule. Priyanshu Gupta sir is a public policy and management specialist with around 8 years of corporate and development sector experience, spanning impact investing, strategy consulting, and grassroots civil society. Previously, he was associate vice president at Lok Capital. So I would also like to congratulate all team Jal Kumbhi, D Covify, Khud Kafil, and Annadata for making it to the preliminary round. These all teams have shortlisted from 85 participants, which we have registered from registered entries we received from all over the India. So before starting the event, I would like to explain rules of this preliminary round. Each team will present their idea for 10 minutes, followed by 10 minutes of Q&A session by the jury members. After 9 minutes, the last 1 minute banner will be displayed on the screen. So team have to find up their presentation on time. So I request all the team members to follow these timelines for smooth events and to avoid any delays. So now I would like to request team members from University of Calcutta, Nivas Kumar and Shivani Kumari from the team Jal Kumbhi to present their ideas. So all the best, guys. Go ahead. Stage is yours.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Is my presentation visible?
Not yes, yes. Yeah.
Yes, it is visible. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, good morning, everyone. We our project name is Jalkumbhi for Good. We are working for Musar community development through Jalkumbhi. Myself, Nivas Kumar, and my teammate name is Shivani Kumari, and we are from University of Calcutta. So during COVID-19 situation, we have done some research on Musar community, and during the research, we found that the total population of Musar community is 25 lakhs according to census 2011 in Bihar only, and in 25 lakhs, 96.3% Musar communities are landless, and the in another part, 92.5% Musar communities are uh, farm labor, but they don't have land. uh, Due to the working at farm, they migrate to different cities, different places. That's why their overall literacy rate is also low, and overall literacy rate is 9.6%, and women literacy rate is very shockingly 1% to 2% only. During our research, we found that their major diet is rice and potato, which leads to high malnutrition. Because of migrating mostly Punjab and Haryana for agriculture and bricks making work, They have returned during COVID-19 in their home in Bihar, Jharkhand, and UP. But after returning home, they didn't get any employment opportunity and they have faced high food insecurity. So there are some news clips of Banaras in Koiripur. Musar community were uh, eating the grass because of no food. And there are also news of Jharkhand. Musar community were sleeping without taking any food. And in Bihar, in the corona pandemic, the Musar community was facing lot of challenges. So these Musar communities are again they are eating the rate and they are facing lot of challenges. So, and by understanding this situation of Musar community, we have taken the impact approach of Musar community development through Jalkumbhi. So, Jalkumbhi under the Jalkumbhi for Good, we are working on three things. First, giving the training of floating garden, Jalkumbhi handicraft, and Jalkumbhi compost. And then we are providing the tools of working in floating garden, Jalkumbhi handicraft, and Jalkumbhi compost. And after that, we provide the market support to sell their products. This impact to the creating an employment opportunity and increasing the food diversity and increasing the nutrition value in their diet. So, overall, our vision is to create a self sustainable society where everyone can live a dignified life. Our mission is to enable the landless Musar community to access the livelihood and nutritional security through sustainable utilization of Jalkumbhi and ponds. So, what is Jalkumbhi? So, Jalkumbhi is also called as water hyacinth, which is a free floating perennial aquatic plant which contains rich nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. It has great fiber which can be used for handicraft products. We found that in Bihar, the number of ponds is 2.5 lakhs, and most of the ponds have Jalkumbhi. Mostly, Musar community lives near the ponds and canals. Very shockingly, in Bengal, the water hyacinth known as Bengal terror, blue devil, and noxious species, and government spent lot of money to clean Jalkumbhi from the pond. So, from the Jalkumbhi, we are focusing on three products. First is Jalkumbhi, floating garden by Jalkumbhi, and floating garden made by Jalkumbhi on the water level. It takes around 55 days to harvest organic vegetables, and the market size of organic vegetable is very big. And after the COVID, it realized that the value of organic food products. Our second product is Jalkumbhi Handicraft. So we use Jalkumbhi stem to make the handicraft products like basket, bags, and it takes 10 to 15 days making the any handicraft. And the market size of handicraft is also big because natural and handmade handicrafts has high demand in national and international market. Our third product is Jalkumbhi compost. So, because Jalkumbhi contains rich nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus, and it takes only 30 days in making compost. So, the market size also again big for Jalkumbhi compost because organic products demand is increasing and the compost demand also increasing. So we have year cycle of engagement in cultivation, handicraft making, and compost production. So when we start working in any pond, in the first week, we focus on making the floating garden bed, stem cutting for handicrafts, and compost production. From the third week, we start handicrafts work and producing the handicrafts material, handicraft product. And from the fifth week, we start selling compost and handicrafts. And in eighth week, we start harvesting organic vegetables. So we are creating employment from the fifth week and harvesting vegetables from the eighth week. And after the 8 week, it goes to whole year in making the compost, handicraft product, and organic and harvesting organic vegetables. Next will be explained by next will be presented by Sivani. Over to you, Sivani.
Yes. So this is our business approach. So we will make a collection and selling center at district level, collection, selling, and training center. So through through this center, we will provide training to Musahar community around making flooring garden and handicraft, how to make handicraft products, so all required trainings. And after, as Musahar community will work on three products through Jalkumbi, that is handicraft, compost make, and vegetable. So handicrafts and compost will be collected on our collection and selling center, and the vegetable, the organic vegetable which will produced by that floating garden is mainly consumed by Muslim community, because we are focusing on their diet and nutrition diversity. And second focus is that the rest will be provided to local community through farm to family model. And the handicraft and compost through our collection center, we will sell it to direct customer, through to the business, e-commerce, handicraft market, and other global market. Next. So opportunity of skill and target. So as total number of ponds in Bihar is 2 lakh, and almost every pond has jalkumbi. So, and total population of Musar is 25 lakhs. So, most of the Musar community lives near the ponds or canal. So, and also, there are customer who are handicraft enthusiast, organic vegetable consumer, organic farmer, also flood affected farmers get benefit from this technique of floating garden. So, what we see that our target till 2030 is create employment opportunity for 5 lakh Muslim community and impacting to 5 crore population by feeding organic vegetables. Next. So, as of now, our key achievement. So, we run a pilot project, and we successfully created 4 beds on 2 ponds and engaged more community there. We have grown successfully cucumber, beans, ladyfinger, and green leaves. We have done trial on basket and other handicraft making by the Jalkumbi stem. We have made compost successfully, and the result of compost is amazing. Next. So here our amazing diverse team. So I, Shivani Kumari, pursuing my agriculture and pollination study from University of Calcutta. I have experience of grassroots at Pradan in Jharkhand. I have done my BTech from NIT Jamshedpur, and my engagement area is through community mobilization and through community mobilization and training part. Nivash Kumar, he is also pursuing agroecology and pollination from University of Calcutta, having done MA in education from Azim Premji University, having diverse experience of 3 years with different organizations, bisection, project potential, and Kheti organization. His engagement part is marketing and supply value chain, and also organization management. Amit Kumar Sinha worked at Vegetable Foundation, ISACHM, and AVK, and having done their bachelor in English from Bhagalpur University, and his engagement area is providing training around floating garden. And Likhil, having done master in design from Institute of Art, Design and Technology, have worked at Project Potential, and his engagement area is uh, 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 handicraft products, how to create different design for handicraft products. So lastly, thank you for listening us, and here is the references on data. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys. It was a great presentation and a great idea indeed. I request Manoj sir and Priyanshu sir to go ahead with their questions. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the exciting presentation, and it looks quite promising. One question is just out of curiosity. So when you say there 2.5 lakh ponds in Bihar, uh, does Musahar community always have access to these ponds, or are there any caste issues that might still prevent them from accessing these ponds, and all of that? So do you see those kind of challenges, uh, social challenges coming into this or not?
Sir, we have faced the same challenge. We have faced the same challenge. in Jammu, Bihar, when we were implementing the floating garden in ponds, and we have taken the support from aspirational district fellow, and he has supported us, and we have finally solved it. But yeah, they have challenges in accessing the pond.
Yeah, so Shivani and Nivas, thanks for a good presentation. My first question is it's more a clarification. Am I right in assuming that once you grow these vegetables, part of it is consumed by the community itself for its nutrition, and the rest of it is sold through farms? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then my question is, have you done some kind of analysis, right? For example, to say that a particular bed of, let's say, 100 square feet produces X amount of nutrition, and of which something goes, and what is the input cost equation really?
Yeah, so the main input cost is only seed only. So because we are not using and also the tool, so we are using the boat to go in the pond and life jacket. So we have to we have the main input cost of it, and apart from this, we have only input cost of seed, buying the seed. So and so we haven't done the any research on the how much area producing how much vegetables, and we are working on it.
Hello.
Yeah, and just another
Hello.
hello. Yeah, just another curious question on. So because of these jalkumbis, I've heard that some of the fishes also die, right? So
Yes.
have you done that kind of analysis that the access to fisheries in these same ponds uh, uh, will get hampered, whereas because of these jalkumbis we'll be able to do organic vegetable production. So some kind of a cost benefit analysis, whether is it good to promote these water hyacinths or not?
Actually, there are already lots of pond, as we mentioned, which has jalkumbi. So obviously, there is a difficulty in fisheries because it's all around the year. It's filled with jalkumbi. So when we intervene with making bed, floating garden bed, and cultivating vegetable, then further it will help to do fishes, because the space which always used to be covered whole around the year, which uh, which uh, which will be clear, which will be used to clear now. So while we cultivate foods, as well as we can do fisheries here, so this is a plus point that we can do two activities simultaneously.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So the main idea is, sir, if we will cover the whole pond all over the year, then it harms to the fish. But if we will collect it in one place and make the bed, then it helps to the fisheries. So yeah, we done the analysis on it.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah. So your scale is quite ambitious. In 10 years' time, you want to go to cover 20% of the
Yes, sir.
population. I still am you see it is for the sustenance of several families, right? What is sustenance for you? I mean, what kind of incomes do you think that they will get? Let's say in the first year, one could look at something like 5,000 rupees a year. I mean, how does the cycle go on? What is
Yeah.
your estimate really?
So we have planned to take the 10% of whole transaction. So whatever we will sell from, whatever we will do the transaction of selling the baskets or a handicraft product and the compost. So from the compost and and the handicraft product, we will take the 10% for our sustaining.
Yeah, that's good. My question is also about the community sustenance, right? By doing this,
Okay.
if let us say, I mean, I don't know what the numbers are, but let's say there are 100 people relying on one pot, right? Or 100 people for X amount of area, right? What do
Yes.
you expect them to earn through this handicrafts and selling compost? What will they earn?
Yeah. So we have done some analysis on it. So one handicraft product they can make in 2 to 3 days. So in 1 month they can make 10 to 15 handicraft product, and one product cost become the 500 to 700 rupees per piece, and it goes to 8,000 to 12,000 per month for one person from the only handicraft. And apart from the income they can earn from the compost, which is around 1 to 2,000 per month, and also 2 to 3,000 per month from the vegetables. So because from vegetables they are not going to get much earning, but uh, it will be around 12 to 15,000 per month for each person.
Are you confident of that kind of numbers? It seems to be absolutely stunning. To be very honest, I know that something like this can actually be in the range of 12 to 15,000 per month. How confident are you?
Yes, sir. So because we have done some experiment, yeah, we are confident, and we are still doing experiment on it. Because so we have given the STEM to the community to make the product, and they have taken 3 days in making one handicraft product. So on the basis of that, we are confident that in 1 month they can make 10 products, 10 handicraft products, and one product cost become the 500 to 700 rupees in the market. So on the basis of that, we have calculated 10, 12 to 15,000 per month, but it can fluctuate according to market.
So a related point there actually. So this is quite ambitious in its scope, because what I see is that you'll have to invest a lot in training for these handicraft manufacturing, because I'm assuming that Jalkumbhi is a fairly fragile and delicate product, right? So you need specialist trainers who will be able to tell them what designs to make, and do it in a certain time period with a certain quality and all of that. So training, quality control, and all of that. And then there is this whole piece on marketing, right? Because where you're saying that you will access the markets, the B2B, B2C, e-commerce, all of them. So what is your sense of your own organizational team requirements to be able to do this and do this simultaneously?
So in our team we have Likin, and he is doing he has completed masters in design from Srishti Art and Design College, and he is working for the quality control of the product. But our focus is making the design in the traditional way. So whatever they were making in the past, so we want to revive it also. So yeah, we are working on both way. So in current market, and also the focusing on traditional market.
Yes, and also we collaborated with in Jharkhand. Some people are making a traditional Jalkumbhi product, so we will provide training through them also.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. And have you got a sense of your market, right? Who are you going to target first? Because see, it seems like a laundry list, right? B2B, B2C, e-commerce, everything, right? But there should be a target,
Yes.
a strategy to approach. Let's just first try this, and
Yeah.
second this, and all of those kind of things. And maybe there already are existing channels on which you can piggyback without directly trying to go straight away to consumers. So yeah, just wanted your thoughts on that.
So, sir, when I was working in Project Potential, I have done some marketing work with the Fab India. So we were providing the handicraft to Fab India. So I have idea about Fab India, and also we can target through the Amazon and Flipkart using the e-commerce website, and India Mart also for the B2B marketing. So we have some idea about it, but we are still figuring out it.
Right. And what's your sense of the state expos, right? Like Bisu Bangla and stuff like, because you come from Calcutta, right? So, uh, what about those state expo handicraft kind of thing? Are you keen on
Uh,
that, or are you more keen towards Amazon, Flipkart kind of a thing? Because the sales approach to both of is likely to be quite different.
yes, sir, it will be great if we will be able to go to the expo, because I have visited some expo in the Delhi. We are from Bihar, not from Calcutta, but we are doing the course in Calcutta University, and I have visited some expo in Delhi. So it's really a good market if we can target. Yeah.
Just one final question from my side. Have you thought through productivity issues, right? For example, we thought through that all through the year you may not be able to grow. What happens when there is heavy rain, or the other way? Is there a chance that ponds dry up? What is the impact of all this?
Yeah.
So
So
actually,
if yes, Ivan.
and yes, you can. So actually, we can go whole the year. So it is a concept that floating garden. When there will be flood, then the uh, bed will never be set up, or will never be wet. So it is the, and even if water will be dry, the bed will set on the ground. So there is an not such a type of difficulty of climate changes, of having heavy rain, or dry season. So Nimash, you can add.
Yeah, so on the floating garden and on the organic manure, we will not have any such kind of problem. But handicraft product making will affect, of course, from the climate change. So yeah, yeah.
So in the end state, so what do you yourself see are the challenges going forward, right? Like, I mean, what is your sense as to what are the things that you want to be prepared about? And
Yeah, first big challenge we are facing the social issues. So yeah, the Muslim community, as Manoj, as you asked about the accessibility of font. So we have first challenges. So first challenge we are looking at this, and second challenge we are looking uh, on the whole channeling the system of training, and then providing the market also. So yeah, so we have to work, we are working on it, and we are doing, still continuing the research on it.
right. And yeah, even on the market side, there are basically two markets, right? One is the food market, and second is the handicraft market. Right? So where do you see the bigger issue? And do
uh,
you think both can go hand in hand, or you will have to focus your energies on one rather than the other?
So we are looking at issues in handicraft market. So we can sell the easily the organic manure or organic vegetables easily to the market, local market. But in selling the handicraft market is not easy. We have to advertise it. We have to show our product to the people, and it will take little time in selling the market the all products easily. So yeah.
And even in vegetable marketing, we will go through the farmer to family concept, so that we will identify some families and farmers. So the farmer will directly give to that family the product. So this will be easier for longer term, as well as.
Yeah. And quickly, one more question. Have you kind of decided on what is it that you are going to grow? Because what you grow has two functions, right? One, to earn money; two, to provide nutrition. And I'm sure that there is a trade-off that you'll have to do between these. So, have you decided exactly uh, what
Yeah.
what you want to grow?
Yeah, our first and primary focus is to bring diversity, diet diversity at the plate of the Musar community. And apart from that, what rest we get, that we will sell through the farmer to family concept. So our focusing area of profit is through handicraft, mostly through handicraft and compost. So this is the basic concept.
So, do you know what they are? I mean, for example, that you are going to do, let's say, it is going to be 60% of the basket is going to be green leafy vegetables. What is this diversity? Have you frozen on that or no?
Yes.
So
So as we have done pilot, so some vegetables we were not able to grow, like the tomato, but we were able to grow the some vegetables like cucumber, and like the some leaf palak, or so, and we were able to we can also we have done some research on it, and we can grow the haldi also, we can grow. So yeah, and some beans we can grow on it.
perennial vegetables like ladies fingers.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Good.
Manoj.
So fascinating listening to your idea. All the best for your venture.
All the best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Shivani. Thank you, Nivas, for this great idea and great presentation. So we have participants from Indian Institute of Technology Delhi, IIT Delhi, Sanmay Jain and Pratiksha Punya, a team named Covify. Uh, so I request them to start the presentation and best of luck to you, both of you. Over to you.
Thank you. I'll just start.
Morning, sir.
Morning.
Hi, morning.
This is Pratiksha will just come in.
I'll just share my screen. Just a second.
This Pratiksha, we can start. We can share a PPT.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is
Yes.
Thank
loading.
you. Okay. Thank you. So, good morning. I'm Pratiksha, an undergraduate from IIT Delhi, and me and my teammate Sayam are here to present our venture Covify. So, India has the second highest number of COVID cases in the world right now, with nearly 10 million people already infected with the virus. It has resulted in a nationwide lockdown and has caused numerous problems for us. So, we at Decovify believe that prevention is better than cure. So we set out to look out for problems and the reasons and the ways in which the virus spreads. And we identified two major modes of transmission, which were surface transmission and direct transmission.
Okay, right. So, like COVID-19 can enter our body through nose, mouth, and eyes. Direct transmission occurs like when you come in contact with the droplets exhaled by an infected person. So, currently, people use masks to avoid this direct transmission. However, we need to understand that these masks do not really cover the entire face, leaving the eyes, which are also a source of infection, uncovered. Then we identified was surface transmission. The virus can survive on different surfaces for various long days, like 3 to 4 days. And some of these surfaces are very high contact surfaces, like ATM machines, door handles, taps, polythene bags, etc. And this virus enters our body when we touch our face after coming in contact with these surfaces. And according to a study, each individual touches their face 23 times per hour on average. And of all these touches, 44% involved come in contact with the mucous membrane, that is with like mouth, nose, and eyes. And we need to also understand that there were no pre-existing solutions to ensure proper protection against both these kinds of transmission. This means that people are susceptible to infection at all times, like when they're out of their homes at work, while they're buying the groceries, or even traveling.
So at Decovify, we set out to develop innovative personal preventive gear, which would be safe, ergonomic, and affordable. So right now we have two products, Visage and Covering. So these have been developed following extensive surveys through Google Forms, interviews, discussion with experts, prototyping, and user testing. So Visage is a visor face mask. That is, it is a three-ply cotton mask with an attached visor that offers protection to the entire face, including the eyes. So those it addresses the need of complete protection from the virus. So it is very lightweight and it is comfortable to wear. The visor is made of PET of thickness 125 micron, which means that it is ideal thickness for the lightweight, durable, and optically clear visor. It also has adjustable ear loops that ensure snug fitting without compromising on the quality or comfort. So the mask has been optimized to prevent fogging and suffocation. So and it is also washable and hence can be reused up to 6 weeks.
Yes, so now we will come to the most interesting part of this presentation. Like we will present our product covering, in which we have totally given our whole design part. So like covering is a patent pending hand care, which is designed to prevent direct skin exposure to surfaces. It is an ergonomic, comfortable, and elegant design, and which is totally shaped at the Department of Design, IIT Delhi. So as you can see in the figure, it has two components. First is a wearable handheld gear to be worn on any of the fingers, like which is equipped with hooks and a rubberized arc to perform daily tasks. Like you can open doors, you can push lift buttons, or you can even carry bags on this covering. And second, as you can see, is the protective case. So I will describe each and every part of the key. So as you can see in the image, that on the there is a rounded part on the top, which is also used to rotate items like doorknobs and car window handles. The two hooks which are given on each side are used to push buttons on the ATMs and elevators, lift grocery packets, open door handles or open door latches, and even or open taxi doors. The flat base, which is present at the bottom, ensures optimal distribution of any weight or force, and it also acts as a lid for the protective case. The protective case has a clamp on its exterior for easy attachment of the product to the user's trouser pocket. So, like it can be clamped on your trousers, it can be clamped on your pocket, and then basically what the only the user needs to do is that put the key back into the case. And the case is self-sanitizing, right? Because the case basically has a foam base at the bottom, and if you put a few drops of sanitizer into that, and when you put the key back into the case, it gets sanitized. So here's how the basically covering basically functions.
So, having talked about our solution, we discuss about the competitors. So, the competitors for Visage are the ordinary masks that are available, the face shields, and disposable visor masks that are available in the market. So, the problem with masks is that they don't provide complete protection to the face. They leave the eyes uncovered. They leave the area around the nose uncovered, which means that people touch their face again and again, which leads to the transmission of the virus. This problem can be solved if they were to wear masks along with face shields. However, the face shields are bulky, they are not aesthetic, and they're difficult to carry as well. So, as well as if we talk about the disposable visor masks, these are made of cheap cellophane visor, which means that they scratch very easily and they have reduced vision after some time. So the shelf life for these is very short. Our product, in comparison, provides complete protection to the face. It is made of PET and so it does not scratch easily, and it also has a longer shelf life, and it is lightweight and aesthetic as well. As for covering, the competitors are gloves and COVID keys that are available in the market. So the problem with gloves is that there is no correct way of disposal for them, and incorrect disposal only increases the chances of infection. Also, they might cause they cause skin irritability and excessive sweating. According to WHO, they also provide a false sense of security to the user. As for the COVID keys, they don't have a protective casing around them, and they cannot be cleaned very regularly. Thus, the user often ends up touching them after using them, which means that they do not reduce the chances of infection. So, our product in comparison is safe and has a self sanitizing case, so which means that it can be cleaned easily. It is cleaned by itself, and it provides a protective covering as well, and it is safe.
Yes. So now, having talked about that, now we will discuss the feasibility of our idea, right? And also discuss the revenue models which we aim to continue forward. We will discuss the B2B and B2B channels as in the general notion. So the first we will discuss the B2B channels. First, we will sell we do sell and we will continue selling our products through partnerships with leading pharmacy chains like Apollo and even local small pharmacies. We will also sell our product to corporates as different products, as in the case like just Diwali happened and new festivals come up. So basically, corporates give such gifts as corporate gifts. Then next, we will sell our products to hotels, offices, etc., so that they can be used by their staff. Then we have also listed our product on the B2B sites, platforms like IndiaMart, Amazon, so that we can also continue doing that. Then our B2C channels, Kamal, then we will discuss our B2C channels. Then first of all, we will basically sell directly to the customers using our own made website, that is Covify.in, which comes with the benefit that it basically gives you low transaction charges. Then we have also listed our product on sites like Amazon, Flipkart, and also to social media platforms on Instagram and Facebook, so that basically users can directly buy our product from them. Then now we talk about the impact that our venture has made. So our target market is currently is middle class and upper middle class people in tier 1 and tier 2 cities. This in total comprises of 75 million people. And with reduction of prices moving forward, we can basically also aim to extend our reach to middle class people in tier 3 cities as well as lower middle class. So basically, after all, this will totally expand our market to 150 million people. Our product provides complete protection to our users against COVID and indirectly protects their families and the other people around them. So, in addition to the reusable nature of our product, we also help to reduce the plastic waste generated if the other substitutes like gloves or face shield would have been used. And we also provide employment to 20 people during this unprecedented times. In terms of like we give manufacturing and deals to other people.
So, talking about operations and financials of our products. So, our manufacturers are people who were earlier working in production of plastic products, stationery items, packaging industries, etc., and their functioning was reduced due to COVID. So, for our pilot, we partnered up with VK Boxes for the production of Visage and for with JJ Imprints for the manufacture of covering. So, after each batch was manufactured, our trained quality in charge. He visited the site and he made all the necessary quality checks. So here you can see the breakdown of the cost of our products. So for B2C sales of Visage, the selling price is rupees 70, and 53% of it is manufacturing cost. Other 17% and 13% are marketing and operational cost, and it leaves us with a profit of 16%. Similarly, for B2B, the selling price is 58, and it leaves us with a profit of 16%. Our initial capital investment here was rupees 10,000, and we reach a break even point when we sell 1,000 units. As for covering, so here our selling price is rupees 250 per unit, out of which the net profit makes up for 44% of it. And as for the B2B sales, it is sold as at rupees 150 and leaves 42% profit for us. So its initial capital investment was rupees 3,75,000, and we reach a break even point at 44,000 units, 4,400 units. So
In May 2020, we started a project with a will to provide protection to the general public that had to leave their homes after the lockdown ended. We came up with the design of Visage in July 2020, following intensive user research and review from professionals and experts. For covering, we conducted an initial market survey with our target users. This was followed by 7 rounds of prototyping, all carried out at the labs of IIT Delhi. We developed our final product at the end of August 2020. By September, we had sold about 3,000 Visage masks in collaboration with Apollo and 200 masks through our own website. By October, we have sold 100 coverings as part of a pre-order campaign only. Our strength lies in fast development of products, which allow us to venture into creating more and more innovative and sustainable hygiene and wellness products in the future. The expenditure of our target section on health goods has been steadily going up for the past 2 years and has seen a steep rise since the COVID has started. According to a Euromonitor survey, more than 40% of the people, of the consumers, believe that this shift towards healthcare and wellness products will be permanent. This gives us a permanent market size of 75 million people for the products we create in future. And now, this is a dedicated team which has been working on this venture. Thank you. Yes, sir. Presentation is complete.
Thank you, Sanmay and Pratiksha. Manoj sir, Priyanshu sir, please go ahead with your questions.
Thanks for this wonderful presentation. Quite good seeing these products. So you mentioned your experience in selling till October. What has been your experience post that till December? Like how many units have been manufactured, how many have been sold, and what is the customer offtake of that?
Yes, so we have shown two products here. We have sold Visage, which is a basically face mask, and we have sold covering, which is a hanky. So we started manufacturing the Visage in July, and we're continuously selling that. And then we basically first launched the product in October. Like mid-October, we launched covering, and we basically launched a pre-order campaign. Like we basically had a list of 1,500 people. Like so basically, what we come from is like we come from inactive society Delhi, so we already had like 1,500 to 200 people who had already bought up previous products from previous ventures. So we basically called them and we asked like if you can basically try this out. We have made this product, and what we basically thought was like if people hadn't really thought about this product, weren't really ready to try this out, but like they were really ready to try this out product because we had personally developed them, and because our target area was such people like spending 250 rupees, spending 500 rupees won't really matter much. So after like mid-October, we started selling coverings. Until now, like we have sold about 1,000 to 1,500 coverings. Like that, like we haven't reached the break-even point now, but we continue doing so in the future. And similarly, the sales of Visage has been going on. There was a disruption due to the COVID. Like we had like exams 15 days back, so we couldn't really deal with the Apollo and pharmacy part. The sales has been going on regularly on that, but on the side, the sales of Visage has also been continuing, which as shown as yes.
Any customer feedback and experiences that you can talk about, like any information from the primary
yes,
users?
so for earlier sales, we did a round of user testing in the first part. So basically, we had worked with a lot of customers and people we knew in inactive society Delhi on here. So we sent them free samples. We sent a lot of samples to a lot of people. Nearly 200 people were sent visages, and nearly 30 to 40 people were sent coverings, and we tried to record their experience, and we tried to see what how their uses were. And as for covering, we were doing it continuously throughout the process. Like, we were talking to 10 people, we were giving them different prototypes, and this was happening. So that is how we came across the last product. So that has been our user review, and the final product has been shaped through all of that user review, that people have given their reviews and they have been incorporated in the product. So currently our major concern with covering is that it is a tidbit expensive. So for that, our problem is that its initial capital investment is higher, as it requires a mold that has to be manufactured. So after that has been manufactured, it costs us very less. So we can easily increase the price we decrease the price in the future, since it has been manufactured now. However, it was expensive in the beginning. So that is one of the concerns that we have found. Also, with the face masks, people have to sometimes have given us one insight that has stuck with us. That is that people like to remove their face masks. They like to pull them down very regularly. So that has become difficult with our visage mask. So what we are trying to do is we are trying to create detachable shields. So as if there is a need for people to wear just mask or without the visor, then they should be able to do that, like without that. So we are working on that. We are trying to work on that. Yes.
Yeah, see, at 60 rupees or so, particularly the target segment is a middle class and above. I mean, it's an extremely low cost consumer product, right?
Yes.
So, assuming people, they are hooked onto it, the volumes would be enormous, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
what kind of manufacturing plans did you have? I mean, you've only done a pilot, I assume, in some outsourced way, right? What you mentioned about a company VK or so.
Yes, sir.
So even if volumes were to, let's say, go 3 times, what was your manufacturing plan?
Yes, sir. So basically, we have been in contact with. We were earlier, before doing this, we ran a campaign for manufacturing face shields. So we distributed nearly 1 lakh face shields across India. So during that, we came across a lot of manufacturers who were producing face shields. So among them are people who can produce up to 10,000 to 20,000 face shields, and it is very easy for them to manufacture these masks as well in one day, because these are very large firms. And if when we decide to go into mass manufacturing up to 10,000 units a day, it is possible for us to collaborate with them. We have already been in talks and we have been exchanging designs, etc. But we'll have to wait till we reach that kind of volume.
Yes.
And
So one main focus was also that basically these companies and manufacturers are located near our college or near the places that we all come. That maybe if something comes up, we can basically clear the things out. So all these manufacturers are located in New Delhi only, BK Boxes and JJ Imprints, and we have been working with them.
yeah. And how easy have you thought about the risks that anyone, particularly with the Visage, that it's quite easy to rip them apart and for anybody to redo, right? I don't see any particular thing that's
Yes, sir. That is
Yeah.
yes, sir. That is
I
true.
didn't
That is one of
understand
the
the question.
problems.
So,
It can be copied.
Risk in terms of COVID infection.
no, no,
No,
no.
no. It
So
can be
he's
copied
asking,
easily.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay,
So
right.
how much of
yeah.
your
So that
product is
was
relying on the patent that is pending? So what is the confidence level on the patent? And two,
yes.
how important is the patent to your business, really, right? Like, is it
So
just a
what we
manufacturing?
believe is that people actually buy from companies in which they trust. So we basically feel that when we say that we are a venture from this college and we basically are producing these products, people are definitely going to try this out, and that's what we basically realized after we carried out the surveys, that people were really ready to spend the initial amount of money. Like basically, they will be ready to spend 500. They will be ready to spend the initial amount you ask for the mask also. Then once basically you give the mask, and if your product is really good, which you truly believe our product is, so they will continue doing so and have trust on our venture. So like basically
Yes.
the companies work on, like we had an initial amount of people in which we can target and pitch our product, because they have previously bought our products also, and they were really happy with our traction. So they will continue doing so. And for
Yes.
covering, I mean, that's a totally unique product. I mean, and we have also given a patent. So in a month or two, a patent will come to us. So I don't think someone will copy it.
Yes, we are taking the patent ahead with the Department of Design from IIT
And we are
Delhi.
taking it
So our
seriously.
professors are also involved in that. So we have quite some confidence that we'll be able to take the patent here. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
And the patent is for the ring, right? Not for the visage,
Yes.
right?
No, sir. No.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Patent is for the thing.
Yeah. No, I still couldn't get the answer to the question I asked, saying that this is the Visage particularly, which is the high volume product really.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
Mhm. Yes.
what are your plans? Have you thought through the fact that somebody else can easily replicate it, and it could very well be a company which is established in the consumer business against whom you will find it extremely difficult then, if you don't have a patent, you will be left being a very small player, right?
Yes, so we have had a bit of problem with filing a patent for Visage since it is a product that does not incorporate very specific design features that could be patented here. Very specific frameworks are not incorporated here. So right now,
Yes.
what our plan is that we'll be selling it under the brand of IIT Delhi along with our professors, and that will help to attract people towards this. And we have not
Okay.
really gotten a solution to the patent for this.
So we will look into that if we can basically patent Visage also. Like actually, the specifications are not that much. Like we can say that only we can thought of this mask,
Sure.
but for
Yes,
covering
maybe.
was totally our that was the case. But we surely look into that.
And one of your key selling points was a higher shelf life. So can you give a sense of how long does this Pfizer last? Like,
Yes, sir.
6 weeks.
It
March.
lasts up to like 6 weeks. So after 4 to 5 weeks, if you're using it very regularly, then you might start seeing some scratches. But if you are not using it regularly, then it lasts up to 6 weeks. So it is a minimum of 4 to 6 weeks. Yes.
Yes.
and are there any other products also in the pipeline that you're thinking about working on?
Yes, sir. Currently, we are focusing on these two products. After this, since we see that COVID will be over in like a year or two, we'll see that our at least middle class and lower middle class people would stop using products like these, since a lot
Right.
of people have already stopped using such products like masks and all. So
Hmm.
currently we are starting to work on other hygiene products. We started thought of this initially in like November ending, that we'll have to work on other products if we want to continue working on this. So yes, we'll be thinking about that from now on. Yes.
But I think till now, yeah, for next few months, the major focus will be to expand our sales as well. Like we have the product and we just want to reach maximize people. So next few months will be just to extend our reach. And then we will continue doing research on new products because basically we will need to innovate. Like people won't really buy our products after 6 months. Like people have reached that kind of saturation. We will appreciate that. But yes, for now, like we do need to sell these products. Yeah, our main focus will be into that.
So do you see yourself as a product design company or a sales and marketing kind of a company, right? Because that requires a different mindset altogether. And
Yes, sir.
then what?
So currently, sir, we see ourselves as designers. Like our primary focus was to design products like these that we'll be able to create innovative solutions. So currently, since we are in such a small stage, the marketing, the sales, everything is happening through us. However, that will change if we gain that kind of traction, and we'll primarily be working with designing of these products. Maybe we might make a separate department for like a separate
Yeah, in that
and
selling this
sales
product
and
marketing.
marketing. Yes.
See, even while you starting off with a 16% net profit business is actually super. Huh? Not many businessmen would actually give you that.
Because
So,
actually that is for the mask because mask is in general a
yeah,
very small price
sure.
quantity.
Right, right. No, my question was that assuming if you had to take a very positive outlook to sales, have you guys thought about what you'll do with all that money you will make with a 16% net profit, and
Yes, sir.
where
So
else can and did a thought occur to you that there is 70% of the population is outside of the middle class that you're talking about?
yes, sir. So that is the reason that we are trying to reduce the prices of our products in future, because we come from Inactus IT Delhi, and this project was started as a part of Inactus IT Delhi itself. So we try to run social entrepreneurship projects. So we try to solve social problems. So initially we had to think, because marketing and operations cost a lot, and our initial investment was also a lot. So we had to keep the prices high in the beginning, but as we go forward, we like to reduce these prices, we like to reach out to more people. That is our eventual goal.
Yes, sir. We aim to basically play in the bulk business. Like for covering the price right now, set is 150, 250s. So we will reduce the price and maximize the number of sales so that we can get the maximum product. And we have like 40 to 45% of profit in covering. So like we aim that the profit maximum profit basically comes to those sales because that is our main hotshot product that we are basically selling that we have totally designed ourselves. And also visage basically we aim to provide the total protection to people so that basically people don't get covered from the faces also, and they have the protection from surface transmission also. So that basically we provide a total kit type thing that basically if you have these, you are totally protected from COVID.
And what is the material the ring is made out of? Is it steel or composites or
it,
what is it?
it's thermoplastic, like I don't know. It will be thermoplastic, I think. I will actually need to see it. Sorry, I forgot, but it's a thermoplastic. Like it's totally made of plastic, and like basically we initially made the prototype using 3D printing, but now layer by layer. But now basically the manufacturers like it's just a mold type thing. Like we have made the mold, initial mold, and just plastic gets into it through injection molding. The product comes out.
It's an injection molded product.
Yes, injection molding.
Okay.
So, what is the next 6 months looking for you? I know you've answered this in bits and pieces, but on the whole, if I were to ask you in like 1 minute, what do you think are your priorities for the next 6 months?
So the sales of our product, basically increasing the sales of our product, ensuring that Visage is able to reach as many people as possible, as well as increasing the traction for covering since it is a new product and most people do not know about it. So we have to work on awareness model for that, as well as like reach out to a lot of people and tell them why this product is important, and then further sales. As for Visage, it is direct sales as with as many partnerships as we can get. We are currently in pipeline with another partnership with another leading pharmacy chain called Sasta Sundar in West Bengal. So we are trying
Sure.
to get a partnership with them as well.
Yeah, very quickly you will be hitting the break even also, right? So, what is the stage that you're going to go to the market, raise engine money, and all of that?
Yes, sir. I did not understand the question.
So, I'm thinking, given your sales traction, you should be hitting break even quite quickly. What are your plans for further fundraising and all of that?
We have reached break even for Visage, but we are yet to reach break even for covering because initial investment was very high for the mold part. Like we had to spend initial lot. So yes, I think in a month or two we will be able to reach the break even point. Then we will just maximize the sales and quite full boost. Even now, I think the break even point isn't really hindering us in the sense that we are not like we can basically go on full boost even now. That basically that we have that much in our shares that that thing.
Okay, wonderful, excellent. Listening to your ideas. All the best for your venture.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sanyam and Pratiksha, for this beautiful presentation. And we all are looking forward to use your product as soon as possible. So we have our next team from Sardar Patel Vidyalaya, New Delhi. So this is the school entry for the National Idea event. I request Asmi and Medha Kulshrestha to start their presentation, and best of luck to you. Yes.
Yeah, I'll just share my screen. Yes, sir. So, good morning, sir. This is Team Khud Kafil. My name is Medha, and I'm here with Asmi. As mentioned by the host, we are from Sardar Patel Vidyalaya, New Delhi. Asmi, if you could.
Hi.
Yeah. So, is it visible?
Yeah, better. If you can make it full screen, yeah. It's somehow getting. I'm able to see only half the screen somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I'm also seeing only half the screen.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll just try. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So our idea caters to the section of domestic helpers who have been rendered unemployed or insecure in terms of their finances over the course of this year. While the pandemic has surely limited physical access to resources, we realize it has also led to an increase in social and economic inequalities within our society. So our idea aims to generate a stable source of revenue for the impacted section of the aforementioned population. It also aims to integrate their work with the formal economy as well as generate awareness about the importance of care work. We have also advocated for already existing demands generated by communities affected by the pandemic and given them substantial support. Now, Asmi will go into details about the.
Yes. So when we're looking at the economic aspect of it, we are essentially focusing on partnering with three sectors, which is the corporate sector, NGOs, as well as the government. So we're looking at working with corporates as well as NGOs simultaneously to ensure a balance of training as well as funding, and ensuring that there is. So we're partnering with corporates in a sense that already existing companies that provide services like urban companies, Swiggy, we'll be collaborating with them in a sense that they will market this entire venture, and they will provide the services that they're already working under. And this will be a separate venture, and this will be funded through their CSR funds. uh, and the training for the skills and for additional skills that these women may be interested in, or if they need any support or professional guidance, will be done through NGOs. So app building, and so the fundings will be used in building an app and an online market for these women to market their products, or talk to their the people that they're selling to, and talk to professionals in case they need any help. And yeah, so, and when we look at government, we're primarily looking at them enabling demand. So they will uh, they will take these products and they will supply them to the frontline non-health workers, so the Anganwadi workers and the municipal workers, in the sense that since these products are not essentially created in a medical sense, these cannot be sold to doctors or nurses in that sense. But our primary demographic then becomes the normal people, people who surround these SHGs, as well as the government employees. So one of the examples could be that they open the community centers within resource poor areas as Bharat Ghars, as a residence for nurses, since that is one of the major demands within the medical sector, that they do not have a place to live near the hospital or near their homes, and they cannot go back to their homes after their shifts. So the hospitality, the bedding, the toiletries will be provided by these women, and the entire business will be run by them. So that is one, and the funding is more of an advocacy. So we will advocate that these fundings be taken out of the microfinance loans, or that NABARD be extended to urban areas, or NAREGA be extended to urban areas, in case these women need to increase their production or increase the area or need money for to buy resources. Now Medha will talk about how this will be implemented and the sustainability of the project.
Okay, so as mentioned by Asmi, this project looks at an idea which isn't set within rigid guidelines and is thus adaptable. We have kept in mind that not only will it be susceptible to regional and social variations, but it also has to be such that it can be integrated with already existing organization and networks within SHGs, NGOs, and all the other parties involved, as well as the network and organization between these various parties. Requirements and limitations of each SHG would not only depend on which region they are from, but also which social group they include and what social position this social group has in society. And therefore, their requirements for resources, the service that they're providing, the product they make, all of this will vary. And this is something that we realize has already been is something that we can already see from already existing models of similar ideas. So, as mentioned in the slides before, we'll implement the idea in collaboration with NGOs as well as established corporate firms such as Urban Company or Swiggy. The network will allow us to generate demand for products or services provided by the SHGs through government procurement. Taking into account the current scenario, an online network could be set up and will probably be set up in order to maintain a well-organized supply-demand chain. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was our presentation.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Priyanshu and Manoj sir, please go ahead with your questions.
Uh, Thank you, and it seems like a very interesting and important idea for the times. Just a few clarificatory questions. So, the scale of this ambition is quite large, but I'm just trying to understand what is your current status in terms of how have been the discussions with some of your partners that you are talking about. Have you already spoken to some of these domestic help workers? When you say SHG groups, have you identified some SHG groups, some collaborative organizations that can help make those tie-ups? And what is your regional focus of your activity? I have just wanted to get a sense of that.
So majorly we're not actually implementing it currently, but we have looked at the previous models of how SHGs have started their own businesses and how they have gone into an entrepreneurial setup with the help of NGOs and with the help of during the COVID times, and how they have managed to uh, solve their issues. So this is not an entirely new idea as such. We are basing it on an already existing foundation and already existing network, as Medha said. So we will be working through that rather than establishing something on top. So currently we
What
do
is
not have the resources to actually go ahead, but we will if we can collaborate with certain
what
companies or
yeah,
NGOs. Yeah.
what we have what is new about this idea is basically that, of course, it's a COVID ridden time, so everything has to be shifted to an online platform. And also the population that we are looking at, because this population is very, very important, but very little there's very little care given to them for providing us with so much care. So we are looking at how to make this network fit to a larger, broader scheme of things. And also, this is an idea that need not be restricted to COVID. So let's say within the next 2 years, we take care of this pandemic, we take care of this breakout. This idea can still be sustained. And we have talked to some professionals, and of course, contacting NGOs through our institution, or through even if we are going for further studies. So through those institutions will not be a problem, because we'll of course be able to advocate for this idea.
Have you thought through what are these products that you will focus on if you're starting, let's say, in the next couple of months or so? What are your priority products?
Yeah, so first we'll be starting with services essentially, because production will take a huge amount of investment, and the machines and all of those that
I've lost her
Yeah.
voice. Medha,
Yeah, we've
would
lost
you
it.
like?
Yes. Yeah,
Sorry.
I'll
Yeah,
continue. No, that's fine.
sure.
So as Atsumi was saying, we will focus firstly on services, because production will take a lot of input and a lot of resources to procure. So through these services, we are primarily looking at uh, services for women. So, for example, if we were to cooperate with urban company, we'll be able to establish a group which will allow for, let's say, housework, but in a more group formation rather than individually trying to go to each house and ask whether employment is available or not, or whether they need help or not. And then also through we know through various uh, there are organizations which allow for female cab drivers, for example. So if we are able to train a selected group of women in one particular region for that service, we'll be able to provide this service at a larger scale than is already available.
And for the SHG groups that we're talking about, are you aware of SHG groups working for domestic workers specifically, that community segment? in and around the area that you think that you will be working?
I personally know a few people who are a part of a group. I'm not really sure if it's an official SHG group, but they do function quite a lot like that. I think they don't have that institutional backing as of now, but they function like that. So that is where I got most of my primary knowledge from about how this is functioning and how it has been impacted. We read a lot of articles and we did a lot of secondary review of such groups. So there are SHG groups in Haryana which have taken up dairy and bread, dairy related work. And then there are fishery based SHGs in West Tripura which have taken up entrepreneurship at certain levels. So we realized that model, while it has its regional variations, can be implemented in other regions as well.
Any sense of scale that you thought about over the next 6 months or so?
Yeah, we'll primarily be looking at currently, we're just looking at metropolitan cities, and since women who work as domestic labor will be most in the most population there, we'll be looking, we'll already recognize certain SHGs that work in Mumbai as well as Delhi. I currently personally know one that works in Gurgaon. So then we will be then we since the all night network will be established, we will then start to expand into other regional variations, other regions that are maybe less accessible. So in terms of marketing, we'll cater to a much bigger audience first, and then till the time it grows, we will start to look at certain other areas.
What do you foresee are your immediate challenges?
So, in terms of our challenges, the first one, of course, would be that this is we can't give a uniform idea for every single region because there is so much variation geographically and socially that this idea has to be adapted at the ground level to make it practical. So we realized that it would require a lot of work to tweak it around and adjust it to the current functioning, as well as if we were to, let's say, establish and identify new groups to enable them to use this idea. Again, it will have to be tweaked depending on the requirements. So that's one thing that we see very visibly affecting our idea. And then also the fact that, of course, we are in 12th right now, so as of now our approach may be a bit limited, but we know that as we go on, we'll be able to expand that. So that's one thing, that those are the two limitations we could see and have tried to work around.
Good. No more questions from my side. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. All the best for your idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Medha. Thank you, Asmi, for this presentation, and it was indeed a great idea. So we have our next team Annadata from IIM Bangalore. So I request Siddharth Iyer and Dipshika Meena to start the presentation, and all the best for you.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you can make it full screen, that will be better. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we'll start. Good morning, respected jury members. I am Deepshika from Team Anna Data. And here I have my team members, Siddharth Iyer, Kinjal Dole, Namita Bhatt, and Akshay Khair. And we will be presenting our slide.
Deepshika, sorry to interrupt. I think there is a lot of echo. I don't know where it is coming from. Monideepa, can you check that out, please? I'm not able to make out. There's so much of echo.
Is it better now?
Yeah, much better. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Siddharth, can you move it to the full screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So we will be presenting a one-slide introductory pitch now. Can you recall the turmoil our country was facing when it was preparing for lockdown due to COVID-19? Do you remember long queues in supermarkets and grocery stores with people buying and stocking a lot of essential items during the lockdown? If that was the condition in the metro cities, imagine the scenario for people who are dependent on government for their necessities and food, to be specific. After reading it in newspapers and discussing it with the group, we realized the intensity of the problem and made up our minds to solve this issue. We started out with identifying the target customers, which are essentially daily wage laborers, migrant workers, and people with stable livelihoods using PDS. PDS in India has a long history, but in spite of all the work around the improvements in the system, it has few issues. These problems aggravated during the lockdown, like queues became longer, coverage reduced, and due to high demand and less supply, black marketing and adulteration increased, along with frequent stockouts. Looking at these issues, we brainstormed few solutions, including digitization and regularization of the entire supply chain of PDS in order to optimize the process, doorstep delivery of ration to the people who are not able to come out of their homes due to lockdown, universalization of the system so that not even a single person is left to be benefited, and change in packaging in order to reduce the leakages and adulteration.
Now that Deepshika has explained the broad problems and solution it demands, let us now understand the nuances of our idea. Under data in one line aims to revolutionize the existing PDS setup in India. Time has come to transform the public distribution system into a public delivery system that eliminates maximum problems that we talked about earlier. Let me put this thought in your mind first. If tenders can be delivered at every household, why cannot we deliver food supplies under PDS to the same very household by integrating massive digital infrastructure and a vast supply chain network? We think it is very much possible. Under data will use Aadhaar that contains the residential address and the mobile number of every citizen in the country. The customer will place an order through his mobile phone. The interactive voice response technology will ask the customer to input his Aadhaar number. The files that are integrated with the customer's ration card will contain the details of the maximum limit of eligible food supplies. Once the monthly order is successfully placed, the food supplies will be delivered to the doorstep of the customer on the expected date. The catch here, however, is that the existing PDS shops will not deliver the supplies. We will leverage the vast network of post offices in India to ensure home delivery. The PDS shops will be eliminated and post offices will be docked with appropriate inventory and matched with demand to minimize inventory storage at the post offices. At the customer side, payments will be collected in cash, and over a period of time, these payments could also be integrated with their post office bank accounts or any other bank account. The home delivery will involve investment in mini trucks for transportation, recruitment of task force for delivery implementation, and a digital infrastructure for maintaining the database and planning deliveries. Through this idea, we intend to make the entire process seamless and effective. Queues will be eliminated, leakages will be curbed, state stockouts will virtually cease to exist, and the coverage and the consistency can be increased, paving the way for faster delivery of goods.
What Siddharth explained is our big idea, but all of this cannot be done at one go. And thus, we have planned to roll out this idea of ours in 3 stages. The first phase is the launch phase, wherein we will introduce the IVR based ordering system for PDS for the customers. The order will be placed in their respective PDS shops, and then a delivery agent will deliver this portion of ration to the customer at their doorstep. Since this delivery will be done on motorbikes, there will be a cap of 20 orders a day. This step is to basically gauge the buy-in of the idea among the customers. With this pilot phase right, we will move to a second phase of learn, wherein we will implement our learnings from the launch phase to improve the process. With this, we will also integrate post offices in the process, wherein post office will be used to stock the food and then becomes the point of contact for delivery of the grains to the customers. Inventory will be stocked in the warehouses and will be managed using the just-in-time system for optimization of the supply chain and delivery. With post office in the process and supply chain of the new proposed PDS, we will then move to our final implementation stage of lead, in which we will try to optimize the ordering and delivery of ration using previous order data and will also implement easier payments using the post office bank accounts. This phase will see further concentration of warehouses, that is, reduction in the number of warehouses to make mega warehouses, and will focus more on training of the staff members for efficient process and improvement of stock to the beneficiary. In this, we will also try to bring in eco-friendly packaging so that the load on our Mother Nature reduces. The purpose of the 3 stages in implementation plan is to bring about the change in the process slowly so that people get time to adjust to the new process, and we can also pivot and make necessary improvements whenever and wherever required for smooth processes.
Now, let us consider the cost and revenue that are involved in this entire program. We bifurcate the cost broadly into 2 buckets. Infrastructure cost, which involves spend of mini trucks and digital infrastructure like servers, and operational cost like wages, packaging cost, and fuel expenses. Revenue streams will broadly include space monetization of PDS shops for alternate commercial uses. This could include renting and leasing of PDS shops to third parties, or making available to government agencies, thus saving cost to that extent. Other sources of revenue is making available the truck space for advertisements. We conducted a sample financial analysis of Kanchipuram district in Tamil Nadu, and we could conclude that this program resulted in a surplus of 1.5 crores over a period of 10 years. We would solicit initial funding from government agencies and philanthropic organizations and engage in active discussions to make positive improvements to this program. Annadata team is diverse with members having good domain experience in critical spheres like operations, strategy, finance, marketing, and delivery. Achieving unnecessary and without any problem. Thank you. And we are open to questions now.
Uh, yes, Manoj sir, Priyanshu sir.
So I'm just curious, why are you trying to replace PDS shops with post offices, right? Like that's really one of the more fundamental points of your idea. I mean, today I think we have a bigger reach of PDS shops in the country than we have post offices, or roughly the same. I mean, at the minimum, I would say, right? So why would you want to do that? And have you thought of the challenges that will do? Because one belongs to the Ministry of Food Affairs and the other one Department of Post. So even these 2 ministries, you will have to negotiate, interact, and do that, right? So why would you want to do that?
Yeah. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah. So when COVID-19 struck our country and the entire nation went into lockdown, the singular aspect that we could see here is what the hardships were faced by the people of this country, and we wanted to ensure that we revolutionize the entire public distribution system in such a way that we can get as many stakeholders as possible by leveraging what all different and unique aspects we have in this country. We are not going to like bring in an entirely new product. Our idea is radical in the way it only makes incremental changes to the setup. For example, Aadhaar is already available in the country, which has a very robust network of digital database. Post office is already set up. And to also answer your question, I can draw up a rough analogy in the Arogya Setu app that was developed by the Ministry of Information Technology in consultation with the Ministry of Health. So we also thought that it could be possible in India in the current governance setup that multiple ministries can collaborate to come up with an idea and to execute the idea so that largely the hardships of the common man that they are facing, for example, the long queues. And we also would like to draw your attention to one important thing. The the citizens who are availing the ration shops in the PDS facility are largely the daily wage workers. And if they're going to spend a lot of time standing in queues with a lot of uncertainty, we also thought that their daily wages will be compromised. So we are trying not only to come up with a financial revamp of a sort, but also we want to explore the social benefits that will come out of this idea. So that was the thought behind this process. So what we felt is the hardships that were faced by the people in the country right now, and that to the bottom of the pyramid people, can be hugely solved by this program.
No, my question was that we understand doorstep delivery is your key revolutionary idea, right? So we are, I'm in sync with that, right? I'm just asking, why would you want to use post offices? Like, what is it that post office brings to the table that the existing PDS shops do not? Right? Why would you want to replace PDS with the post office?
Yeah.
And especially given the fact that you're not planning to use the post office staff for delivery, because you are planning to take that doorstep delivery staff on your own, right? So what really does the post office add?
So here I would explain this thought process in 2 points. The first point was when we had consultation with professors in our institute and also with stakeholders outside, we came to know that the post offices and the post office staff won't be very comfortable in handling huge deliveries per se. And these are ration supplies which will go from the tune of maybe 5 kgs and upwards, and we have to deliver it to a specific locality on a particular day. Having said that, the one more key aspect of post offices is space and the supply chain network that it brings along with it. So in India, we have post offices in every city, every tier 2 city, towns and villages. So we are ensuring last mile delivery by collaborating with post offices, which PDS shops cannot, in the aspect of going to every household. So as far as the logistics is concerned, we are kind of outsourcing the social logistics to the post offices, and we are keeping the entire setup as intact till the point of PDS. So basically, in an equation, we are removing the PDS shops in terms of space and putting a post office there so that the post office can act as a point of leverage to places where PDS shops cannot. To give an example, in a survey that we conducted in our locality, there was one post office at a central location which covers an area of around 10 kilometers. And there were multiple PDS shops, but those PDS shops were not even functioning for entire 30 days of a month. It was only open for 2 to 3 days of a month where the stock would come and the stocks would get closed on a first come first serve basis for the needy citizens. So to and this is the kind of exploitation which is right now happening for the marginalized citizens in the country, because also the study that we conducted, we also found out that currently India has a surplus of food supplies in Food Corporation of India, but that's not getting translated to the last mile or the end customer in the bottom of the pyramid. So to ease out such frictions in the entire system, we are collaborating with post offices so that they offer us two things. One is the supply chain network that they have, and secondly, the space.
Yeah. So one question in my, correct me if I'm wrong, you are adding transportation cost, right? What is it per kg? How much is it? I mean, for so let's say you take a town or a district or whatever is the geographical level, what is the average addition of cost per kg? And where is that money coming from?
So to broadly explain this, first of all, for the funding, we would be initially approaching philanthropic organizations and government agencies so that we at least start the pilot. As far as the transportation costs are concerned, what we feel is one mini truck can transport for an area of around 3 kilometer, which would cover 30 households per day. This is on a per day basis. And by keeping a shelf life of around 8 to 10 years for the mini trucks, we expect the capex for a particular district of Kanchipuram district that we came across. The capex cost came to around 19 crores on trucks, but this is for a period of 10 years. And so, if I have to analyze everything over a 10-year period, we would get a capex cost of around 19 crores for investment in trucks. However, what we also could be optimizing on is the freeing up of the spaces of PDS shops, and we can use that to rent it out to other government agencies of other private commercial enterprises, so that the rent aspect can be monetized. So on the whole, when we analyzed the Kanchipuram district in Tamil Nadu, we came across a savings of 1.5 crores over a 10-year horizon.
Yeah. No, I'm not so much worried about the capex. It's quite possible that a philanthropist will give you the money, right? I'm worried about the opex. So I think then the last mile, there is a net cost addition, right? Assuming still the government is doing it. Currently I went to the PDS shop and, I got I took it. So it was my cost, right? The last mile delivery is my cost. But now what you're doing is that you delivered the last mile cost to the government. Now it's become the government's cost. Is it correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Who funds that money? I mean, just the rental that you will get by, let's say, vacating the PDS premises. One is that going to even partially cover, right? Second, I'm sure that you folks would have seen post offices, right? Many of them are in no shape to be inventory holding points. And we are talking about, if not perishables, we are talking about food, right? I mean, a big complaint in our SCI godowns today is that many of them are rotten, right? And you are actually taking another rotten infrastructure at a smaller level, right? Or if you're going to repair it, again, there is an intense capital cost. We are talking about thousands of post offices.
Yes. So to answer your question, I would again bifurcate my thought process into two parts. The first thing about the OPEX cost that you were talking about. The first thing is what we experience is, you were absolutely right when you told that the OPEX cost would have to be partially funded with an additional component, which could be taken from the government, or because the space monetization of rent cannot wholly offset the entire cost that we are again going to incur. Having said that, there's one more alternative way to look at it, wherein we can, going forward, when the mini trucks would be servicing and completing the household deliveries, we can also advertise on those mini trucks, which can also be a potential source of revenue. Secondly, what we also thought about is the existing staff in the PDS can be replaced or can be diverted to other productive activities, and we can also save on that wages or labor cost. However, as you rightly said, we need to have more clarity from our side when we will actually roll this program out after the pilot stage. And that's why we implemented this phase in this entire project, because it's a huge project of a social setup. We would like to implement it in 3 phases so that any funding issues or any operational issues can be corrected and iterated going forward. To answer your second question, which was basically about how post offices can be used as a dockyard or a docking space. Going forward, in the second phase of Anna Data program, what we intend to do is we would only have stocks for 1 day or 2 days docked at post offices. So the supply chain has to be so robust that the stocks could be actually replenished within a period of 1 or 2 days, and the maximum storage that would be in the inventory would, for a locality, would be a day stock or a 2-day stock at maximum. Because right now, even the PDS shops, if we see, the average square feet of a PDS shop was around 300 to 500 square feet. And if we compare, an apple to apple comparison would lead us to even post offices having a similar setup of a size shop. But what we would ensure is we would only ensure a day or 2 days of stock in the post offices, so that the mini trucks would replenish the stocks as soon as possible, and the entire delivery for a particular locality can be completed in a 1 or 2 day time period.
Go ahead,
I'll
Manoj.
just finish. Yeah, I'll just finish this thread. I mean, are you? I understand inventory optimization. You will use just in time, right? In much of very high volume cases, these have been, just dreams. Huh? I mean, the people who have got the just in time right and inventory right, particularly in consumer products like this, are very, very few. Are you underestimating the logistical complexity of this?
So the entire idea is in the conceptualization stage, and as much as we speak that yes, these issues might crop up, uh, we could largely be underestimating. I'm really very frank with you to accept that we could be underestimating the logistical complexities. But having said that, at the end of the day, the picture that comes to us in mind is people who are standing in long queues will not be standing once again in front of the PDS shop, and these are bottom of the pyramid citizens who need utmost help and welfare benefits from the government. So what we as a team thought about was, even though there could be all these complexities involved, and that was the main rationale why we came up with a three-stage process: the pilot, and then the learn phase, and then the lead and the final stage. So
So,
whatever complexities we would be having in the first or the second stage can be ironed out in consultation with subject matter experts, and consultation with the government agencies, and we can have a successful program rolled out, if not for the entire country, at least for the state, for one particular state in general. So yeah, as we speak, we are not underestimating the logistical complexity, but yes, we totally have an eye on that. But the social benefits or the welfare benefits largely
So
outweigh
just
the.
to interrupt you there, right, on the social benefits part of the thing, right? So much of India is migrants, right? And if you are linking it to Aadhaar, you are actually your doorstep delivery to a address linked to Aadhaar. You are actually going against the very slogan you have put on your slide, right? One nation, one ration, right? The whole idea of the government is that anybody, even a migrant worker who is right now in Mumbai, can walk up to the PDS shop, because that shop is available real time at any point of time. That person can go there, right? So through this whole model, aren't you destroying the very notion that you claim to uh, to be solving, the whole problem that you're trying to be solving? Why not just aggregate your energies to help the government figure out that bit, right? That mobile number or address portability for a PDS shop, which is the big idea that we're talking about right now.
Okay, so I'll take this question. So when we talk about the migrant workers, what we think of it as that we're talking about complete families, not just a migrant worker. So what usually happens and what we have seen in general is that a migrant worker, the person who's earning, moves from one place to the other, and then the family stays behind. And what they're earning for is for the family. So if we are linking it to the Aadhaar card, the address which is there on the Aadhaar card is the place where the family stays. So we'll be delivering those to the family, the grains to the family. But when we talk about the other processes, let's say the entire family moves from one place to the other, the process which is similar in the banks, we'll be following that, wherein we'll keep another additional database, not just the Aadhaar address, and we'll keep on changing that address so that the migrant worker they can get their address changed, and then the delivery will be done to the place on which they are staying currently.
So I have no further questions, Manoj.
Yeah, so a quick, you see, Tamil Nadu probably has among the best PDS systems in the country today, right? So, and your pilot, or at least your analysis district is Kanchipuram, you said, right? What kind of work did you do in Kanchipuram? What was it about, right? I mean, to get to this.
Yeah. So can I share my screen once again to show the financial analysis?
Yeah.
Is my one second. Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Not yet. It's coming.
Coming up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we took up, so the analysis that we conducted in the Kanchipuram district of Tamil Nadu is we first of all counted what are the fair price shops in every taluka. So we found out the 5 talukas had around 635 fair price shops or PDS shops in total. We estimated what would be the rent per square feet per annum for these shops, and then we had a rough calculation of what would be the rent savings in rent that could be taken up by the government if at all the PDS shops were entirely wiped out. But this won't be a part of the initial phase. This is just the third phase of the final phase where we would have contactless delivery. But so what we concluded is there were substantial savings in real estate cost. Or else the government agencies could also use it for community services like healthcare clinics or testing centers or utilities, etc. Now coming to the capex cost, we thought that one truck can service 3 square kilometers every day, and this would cover 30 households. So
Yeah,
we
so that,
came
that
to
part I got. So that part of the table is quite understandable. But my question more was like, in a district like Kanchipuram, what was the feasibility of this? I mean, did you guys look at the when I say feasibility, let me give you an example. Will this truck be able to reach all the households, or is there going to be a truck standing in one place because bylanes are one can't take the truck in the bylane, let's say, right? So the truck becomes a PDS in a sense. Right. So if serving, let us say 50 people in the street or 100 people, things like that. The feasibility of doing it in a place where like Kanchipuram, where there is already a very well functioning PDS, like everywhere in Kerala.
Right. And just to add to that, have you spoken to the local post office on their willingness to do this? Have you spoken to the PDS shop as to what they will feel about this, and so stuff like that?
Yeah. So to answer the first question, we initially were thinking about on the same lines as what Professor said, that we could have large trucks to service them instead of mini trucks. Then what we came to the conclusion was large trucks, as you rightly said, cannot be used to do the last mile delivery in such areas. Then we iterated it to have mini trucks there, so that mini trucks can cover as much as the area, as much area as possible. Secondly, we did not have any active consultations at this point in time with any of the post office agency or the PDS. However, we consulted a government official on the lines of the broad feasibility of this idea as well as any funding requirements. But to answer your question, we have not yet initiated any conversation with the post office officials or the PDS officials. However, we have initiated conversations with other government officials in terms of funding and feasibility.
Just on that, have you considered pitching this idea to the, in your own thought process, pitching this idea to be delivered inside the government rather than outside of the government, right? Like, why don't you just take over, join one of the ministries and try to own up this project rather than do it outside? Because they will have the funding, they will also have the logistics experience and all that. Yeah.
Sir, to answer your question, yes. So in India, how we see the entire social setup is we need an outside player in the form of a private enterprise or a philanthropic organization who can really push and gear the entire idea on a scale of 1 to 5 at a 5 level so that the government can then take up the idea. So obviously, we also thought about having task forces inside the government who can take up this project as a independent study or an independent implementation program. But having said that, the idea or the rationale behind the approaching the other organizations of social enterprise is also to ensure that this idea is fast tracked and it reaches the final consumer maybe in the span of the next 1 to 2 years. So that was the idea behind that. However, we are also looking at suggesting to the government to initiate a task force which can like fast track this idea on an independent basis.
Thank you. Nothing else from my side. Thank you, Deepshika and Siddharth. Thank you.
Thanks. All the best for your.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Team Anna Data, for this presentation, and it was really fascinating to see different ideas in the social sector. I would like to thank Manoj sir and Priyanshu sir for the presentations. This is all we have today for the preliminary round, and thank you, Team Covify, Team Kumbhi, Anna Data, and the last and not the least name, Khud Kafil. So I would like to request all of you to please join us at 12 p.m. We'll be announcing results for the preliminary round, and also the link for the final event will be shared with you. Before closing this preliminary round, I request you to watch a video of our alumni, Hasirudallah, for the in and by this video we'll close today's preliminary round, and I request you to please join again at 12 p.m. We will be announcing results for this round one. Thank you guys. Let's watch the video.
An average day in a waste picker's life starts very early in the morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning, and they go on to walk up to like 10 kilometers to 15 kilometers a day to pick up just few kgs of recyclables, which fetches them a very meager sum of money. These are people who are living in very difficult conditions. They don't have access to any social security. They are one of the most vulnerable communities who even don't have proper housing systems, sanitation systems. The children, most of the times, because they have to move from one place to other, they also don't get to enroll to schools. So right now the city has about 35,000 such people. They don't get noticed for the work that they're doing. They're invisible people, invisible environmentalists, if you can say. My name is Inda, and I'm part of this non-profit called as Hasirudalaya. We're based in Bangalore and 5 cities across Karnataka. We work with waste pickers in these cities, and we look at their holistic development of say social security as well as livelihoods. What we do is we try to find a waste picker who has potential to become an entrepreneur. We give them training, we handhold him and support him for the training. And once the person is ready, we hand over a dry waste collection center to them, which are decentralized waste collection systems at a ward level. These are public-private partnership models where a DWCC is given by the BBMP. The first party to sign the agreement is the waste picker, and the third party is the NGO. So we plan out these routes for them, like which day they have to go to which route for collection of waste. So once this waste gets into the centers, there's unprecedented levels of sorting that happens here, where the dry waste is also sorted into non-recyclable dry waste and recyclable dry waste. We try to look at the regularized markets where these people can get fair prices for the recyclables that they are selling. And a lot of people with their collection efficiency have actually come to a level where their personal journeys have changed. Like Mansoor's case, who used to run a small scrap shop in a small neighborhood in Banshankari, now runs a center. Now his kids go to school.
मेरा नाम मंसूर है। मैं 168 पट्टाभी रामनगर ड्राई वेस्ट कलेक्शन सेंटर को मैनेज करता हूँ। मेरी टीम टोटल अभी 12 आदमी की टीम है। उसके बाद मेरा टोटल अभी व्हीकल यहाँ पे 3 व्हीकल है। तो आज मैं सवेरे 7 बजे से लगभग 12-1 बजे तक डोर टू डोर कलेक्शन करता हूँ। शुरुआत किया था एक व्हीकल में 25 घर से, उसके बाद धीरे धीरे 2050 घर में जाने लगे।
So at the organization, we look at the holistic development of a waste picker. So we start with the social security aspect. 13 रुपए लेने नहीं आता, तो आप बैंक में अगर आपका खाता है, ठीक, बैंक के खाते में फॉर्म भरना पड़ता है वहाँ बैंक जाके, जिसमें आप बोल सकते हो कि मेरे पास ये स्कीम है, मैं इसका उपयोग उठाना, मतलब फायदा उठाना चाहता हूँ. So we started developing a module on financial literacy so that they understand the importance of saving systems, banking systems, and what are the systems or loans which they can avail for their business.
What has happened is now we have replicated this elsewhere in the state, and we have seen what model that we have done is easily replicable in any city by anybody. And also in places where Hasrudalaya is not there or any other group that to work with waste picker is not there, the city themselves are doing.
When we started working in these wards, there was only 25 to 30% of segregation that was happening. Now we have come to a level where there are about 60% segregation levels. There are about 35 centers right now which are managed by waste pickers, and there are about 13 of them are women who are managing these centers. And in each center, there are about, on an average, 5 to 20 people who are working in the centers as collectors, drivers and helpers. I want to see someday happening where there's 100% segregation of waste at the ward levels, so that we'll maximize this larger goal of more waste getting diverted from the landfills. If more and more waste is coming to the centers where these waste pickers, informal workers work, it's more and more livelihood and predictable income for these people.
Thank you. So let's join at 12 p.m. Results will be announced at 12. See you. See you. Bye.